Good morning, Bamel family. It was in mid-March when we began to worship away from the building together, but in our homes. There has been a yearning since that time for us to be able to come back together and worship again. And your leadership has felt that same yearning and experienced that. And we have discussed, debated, and prayed over what our best options are. What we want to do is, first and foremost, we want to make sure that we maintain a safe environment for our people, for you. And so we have considered all various options. The other thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we have a worship service that's both edifying and glorifying to the Lord. And so as we look at those two premises, we have opted that we will not meet in the worship center, which many probably are thinking we would do, but we are going to meet in the chapel instead. Let me tell you the reason why. The chapel has movable chairs. We can arrange the configuration of those chairs and they accommodate our seating more effectively than we can with fixed pews. Secondly, the chapel is a smaller environment, so we're going to be able to keep the total number of people gathered at any one time at a limit of about 110 people ultimately, which we feel is a manageable size in terms of gathering together. And thirdly, the chapel is just a wonderful place to worship in. We'll be able to see each other. We won't get spread out and get lost. And I think that you will find, if you have not ever worshiped and sung in the chapel, you're going to find that to be a very, very good room to worship in. So we will be meeting in the chapel. The month of June is really a learning phase for us logistically. Let me tell you what it will look like. We're planning on meeting next Sunday, June 7th. The first 2 Sundays in June, we're going to limit and cap our capacity at 25% of what the chapel will hold. That is about 50 to 65 people. And we will meet together. We will take communion together. We will sing together, but it will be the projected service that we would otherwise see online. And so we'll do that together. And then the second 2 weeks in June, we will have the same number of people meeting together, 50 to 65 of us. And we're going to do that, but this time we hopefully will have a live praise team and our communion centering thoughts will be live as well. The sermon will continue to be projected. Hopefully during the month of June, we're going to be able to figure out the kinks in terms of what is involved and what needs to be improved on the way we come together and the way we come in and out, just all the logistics of us regathering in a new way. In July, we believe that we will be able to increase our capacity up to 50% of the chapel, which should be about 110 people. And then we will be able to be spaced out well in that regard. And then everything that we did in the second phase of having the praise team, having our communion time together with the sermon projected, those will continue through July for an indeterminate amount of time. We just don't know how long that will be. Our fourth phase, our final phase of regathering, will be to be back in the worship center. We don't know when that time will come. Well, again, we're going to have to be flexible and we will have to just see how things unfold. So those are our plans in a nutshell. Let me tell you very quickly the logistics of what will happen in that so that you're aware of that. To control and to maintain the number of people, we will need a reservation system. And so you will be getting information about that this week. On a weekly basis, you will have the opportunity online to let us know if you are going to be coming to worship with us on Sunday. You will be able to give us the number of family members who will be present, and then we will have seating that will accommodate your family. When you get there, you will be shown where to park, and that information will be made available to you and the doors that you will be able to enter in. We want to be able to control our entry and exit. We believe those are important things for us to be able to do. It's important that you also realize that a lot of the services that we've had before will not be available. We won't be able to offer children's services. Things like the nursery and children's worship will not be available. And we won't have adult Bible classes or youth classes on campus. We will continue to do those via Zoom. We won't have communion elements that will be passed. Instead, we will have individual communion elements that you will pick up when you walk in. These are things that we want to do to maintain our safety as we gather together again. We feel like that's very, very important and reassuring to everyone. And then lastly, we're going to ask that people would wear a mask. I know that masks have become a divisive issue in our society. It's really kind of a shame that has become what it is. I believe that the masks are probably very effective in terms of helping contain virus transmission, especially when we tend to get a little closer than our 6 foot spacing that has been suggested that we maintain. So we're going to ask that you would wear a mask. I understand that for some of us that is very problematic and difficult, either because of maybe breathing issues or perhaps because of claustrophobia. And so we want to understand that. We want to respect that. But we want you also to respect those who believe that it is important and that they feel safer with people wearing masks. And that is really an act of love. So we're going to ask that you would wear a mask, if at all possible, when we're gathered together inside the building. So, in a nutshell, that is our plan. You will be getting more information coming this week, more in a written format, and then more in a visual format like what I'm giving you right now. We're looking forward to being able to start to gather again together. And again, that will begin this coming Sunday, June 7th. Be watching for that information. BAML, have a great week.